Greetings and salutations. I am Kyron Rushmore and I am fracking tired. Oh boy. Right, let's do this thing. Hey Mikey, how's it going? I see you there in the chat. No, that's my Nightbot. That's not you saying interesting things. What's Nightbot going on about? Nightbot is... Oh, Nightbot's going on about the gender diversity. But yeah, it's one of them things where it's like... I think to a certain degree, it's like, it's not excessively something that, you know, it's like, because I'm pretty much cis and identify as he, him, it's not overly important for me to make sure that everybody's aware of my pronouns. However, one of the things that I am aware of, it's like, it can be awkward and intimidating for some people to basically announce their pronouns in certain spaces because they don't know how well it's going to be received. I'm all for it. If you want to go by alternative pronouns, either gender bias ones like he, him, when you're a she, her, or vice versa, or whether you want to go for any of the multitude of pronouns in between, that's your business. Happy for you. I will try to remember them. I don't actually see them on my phone, which is a bit annoying. But if you do, go to the link as Nightbot has put up. All you need to do is sign in via your Twitch login. It's not actually signing into the website, it's signing up to the website using Twitch. It's secure, don't worry about it. And you select your pronouns, and that's it. If you then go off and follow the links to download the add-on to Internet Explorer or Edge, Microsoft Edge, and Chrome. I think they might also do others, I'm not sure. I've got Chrome. That's as far as I went looking. Then you'll be able to see anybody's pronouns who's got it set up on the website, and they'll be able to see yours. It works, you know, it doesn't block anybody or mask anybody who hasn't selected their pronouns. It just doesn't display anything. And it just helps get rid of one of the problems of the barriers when it comes to, you know, making people aware of your pronouns. And also, you know, if you're in a situation where you can see them, again, I apologize, I cannot see them on my mobile phone. So if I... what is it when you use the wrong pronouns? Because I know that if you essentially use if you identify, misgender somebody, but this is not really, you know, you're not trying to gender somebody with pronouns, you're trying to get their correct pronouns. So you might get the wrong pronouns. There might be a simpler term for that. But if you're paying attention, it's real easy not to get somebody's pronouns wrong. And, you know, it's not one of them where you have to announce, because I know that some people aren't comfortable with sort of like turning up in a room and being sort of like, hi, I'm Kyron Rushmore, my pronouns are he, him. From my point of view, being cis and my pronouns matching my projected gender, it feels a little bit weird walking into a room and saying, hi, I'm Kyron Rushmore, he, him, because it's obvious. But at the same token, it helps to do that, because then people who have alternate pronouns know that there's other people in the room willing to put themselves out like that. I think I mean, it's mainly there to try and put people at ease. If you do have alternative pronouns and you don't want to let people know, it's fine. Just don't go to the website and sign up. But anyway, I fear saying the wrong pronouns as some of the folks I now identify via different means, and I know my memory is shot, so I slip up. I think, yes, it's I fear using the wrong pronouns on people from time to time. I'm in a number of communities which have a lot of individuals who don't have traditional pronouns. And, you know, it's like one of them where it's like I've tried to basically train myself in some ways to actually, if I'm talking about people, use they, them. Most people don't have an issue if you use they, them. And, you know, I can talk about Micah and be so like, they are a Twitch streamer also. Rather than saying he is, and you know, using his pronouns. I assume, might be wrong, that he is still he, him. And by, you know, getting into practice of just always using they, them, you're potentially less likely to offend, because the gender neutral ones, like they, them, are generally widely accepted. Pretty much answer to anything. You do actually have the option of choosing any on the link. Just getting in, I too have taken to announcing my pronouns he, him. For people who it helps for those who don't regard it. It will paint themselves as such, and I've made that distinction. Yes, that is the other thing. It's like, you know, if somebody was to come in here, like say if, for example, if my pronouns were she, her, and somebody was to come in here and be talking about me and saying he, him, it's like, I politely correct them. I'd let them know where they can get the extension to be able to see my pronouns. But if they were consistently at it, it's like, no, you're just not trying. Or if they have sort of like, you know, if I was to be sort of like, hi, I'm Cameron Rushmore, pronouns he, him, and somebody came in and was like, well, no shit, Sherlock, you've got a beard, and it's like, you could too can fuck off. Well, hi Hexgrid Heroes, how's it going? But yeah, it's one of them, and it, you know, like you say, it's like, for those that it helps. For those that out themselves as being disregarding just because you're announcing your obvious pronouns, it allows you to take care of that before it really escalates, and it doesn't hurt, it doesn't harm anybody. You know, me forgetting occasionally, it's all I kick myself. Not so much here. I don't announce myself as, hi, I'm Karen Rushmore, pronouns he, him, the start of every stream. Most of the people who come here are regulars, as well as I've just not gotten into the habit of it. I possibly should. But at the same token, you know, when I'm playing over on Manapot Studios, it's kind of useful to do that because, you know, there's a group of us, we all go through our pronouns, we go through the pronouns of the characters as well, and ultimately at the end of the day, you know, it's just part of the introduction. We always introduce ourselves. I think that's the best you can do on both sides. Try to get it right or use gender neutral, and if you have been misidentified, give them a chance to correct. Yeah, I mean, if you have been misidentified, I think to a certain degree it very much depends on how they take it when you correct them. You know, if the first words out of the mouth aren't, "Oh, sorry," then feel free to kick them in the nuts and walk away. Or the crotch. Kick them in the crotch and walk away. There we go. Gender neutralizing kicking somebody in the nuts. No, I do take these things fairly seriously. Because why not? But yes, anyway, let us get to the game. I've been staring at the loading screen for a while, and I realize kick them in their glowing weak spot. I mean, if it's glowing, you need to see a doctor, J-Station. Just putting that out there. Regardless of gender or preference, just go get that checked out by a doctor. Let's switch over to this. Let's load up the game and try to remember what is going on. End of session 12. Oh well, be right back. Gotta go speak to my GP now then. I can barely remember.
Bring back the feisty one. There's a woman can do some damage squeezing her legs together.
It isn't a parlor trick. Besides, she doesn't take orders well.
She has backbone, that woman. Does it scare you?
No, but I won't be responsible for what happens if you call her whore.
Right. I looted that. What am I doing? What was I doing? I was back in town for something. That was it. I was dealing with through the death gate.
Alright then.
There we go. It's all coming back to me. I was murdering zombies. If it's a glow, to the doctors you must go. Grain of junk needs to be seen to. Green scene. I can figure out where it's supposed to rhyme. My pronunciation is terrible, so it might not always rhyme. Wow. Right, we were going through this area for a variety of reasons, I believe. I think we want to go over this way. We've cleared out most of this place, I think. We've not gotten anything new in this place. Love the way it's like, travel to the caves in Figra's vision, and it's like, what caves? Yeah, okay, so there is just the top of this, which is Undying Heritage. Enter the tower. Tower around here, possibly. Down over here? I wasn't going to say anything. It's not a Karen stream without one misreading. Usually further in than 15 minutes. It's not 15, that's 18 minutes. Yes, Nightbot, we've already had the discussion about the pronouns. Has Nightbot said anything else? Or are they... No, they've not. Somebody keep an eye on Nightbot, make sure they're not just repeating themselves. Not got anything against it repeating the pronoun stuff, but at the same token it could possibly do with telling you about some other wonderful things. Why do you have a book? I don't like you having a book. Could the back row shoot the guy with the book? Would you just still kill one of them? The wolf is knocked out. Skeletal wizard's dead. Okay, great stuff. There's another skeletal wizard out there. Go kill that one. Skeletal wizard is dead again. Alright. Let's get rid of a Diggle. Go home, Nightbot, you're drunk. So my custom overlay is by a friend of the channel, JStation64. Check him out over his channel and install it. Okay. You're flattered, JStation. You can stay. Yeah, I need to do some more work with the sorry, I don't have anything programmed up for you, Magcat, although JStation, if you want to give Magcat a shout out, then Nightbot should take care of that. But yeah, JStation, who is talking in the chat, did the overlays, very nice. I still need to do some more work with regarding that, but that's not JStation's fault, that's my fault for being lazy. I need to update my little tabs below the stream. I've also mentioned the Discord server. Me, JStation64, Retro Ted, and Krifu Banal all have a Discord server where we hang out with many members of our community and discuss all things gamery, whether it be tabletop or... You're not looking so healthy. Use your second wind before you get punched again. No, you got knocked out. Okay. If you guys could focus down, and I'm gonna bring in some will-o'-the-wisps out the back. You continue shooting that one. You guys go kill that thing. The ghoul is dead. Yeah, it does seem to have just woken up. I have a Twitter account. My account was last seen playing Just Art. Oh, were you streaming that? Such art, not Just Art. Did I miss another stream? I've been missing people's streams left, right, and centre at the moment. The last stream that I know on my account was streamed was Phasmophobia. I know, because I was there. Or so I thought. The will-o'-the-wisps have left the party. Okay, bye will-o'-the-wisps.
Leave it to me.
Let's have some more will-o'-the-wisps. Ah, you set it up for tomorrow.
Leave it to me.
Am I the only one who really leaves it until absolutely the last moment? Yeah, I just do it as part of the go live process. It's all okay, I'm going live, I'm playing this, I'm doing it's this session number, blah blah blah, and go. We're live. I know JStation occasionally does it. When he thinks of the punny and or witty suggestion for his stream names, they tend to do theirs a little bit earlier, but again, it's just not something I do. We usually leave it was just updating new emotes. Cool. What new emotes do you have? You should be able to use them on my channel. Hey, Retro Ted, how goes it? How are you this evening? Somebody give Retro Ted a shout out, because why not? It's Retro Ted. I think he deserves one at least. At least one. Maybe not more than one, but at least one. You've got a set of gloves that nobody's wearing. I am terrible with these things. Put the cat in the box. Put the trap with the rest of the traps. Put the jerky in the box. Put the potion with... Oh no, can't put it with the other potions. Ooh, I can. Oh, right. The sharing of the emotes. Okay, I kind of recognize one of them is you with a cloth on your head, and the other one's a little bit difficult to see. I am working on a mobile phone here, so I've been playing with Foundry VTT for a few hours, as you. I'm not too bad. So I've learned you can put a command mid-sentence. You can't put a command mid-sentence.
Hey.
Yeah, I think it's just basically it goes at the start to basically wake up Nightbot and say the following thing is a command. This might be the tower. Kind of looks towerish. Let's just poke around and see what else. One is a Pikachu we have at home, and the other is of me with a pair of striped underwear on my head. Fair enough. Thought it was a tea towel, or not tea towel. Handkerchief, that's it. Is that a Pika Pika? I really can't make out that Pikachu. Oh, a narrative moment. The massive stone door of the tower is sealed, and there doesn't appear to be any way of opening it. Speak the words you learnt from the Leaden Key Acolyte. We hear rumbles and clanks from hidden tumblers in the door as the door unlocks. Bum bum ba. Hey, Lord of Mistral. How goes it? Hexgrid Heroes there. Oh, Prepping and Foundry. The Expanse RPG. Cool, cool. Not actually used the Foundry before. I've seen it in use. Right. Could everybody at the back shoot the wizard? What the deuce? I think somebody's body is trying to get away. Yeah, I've heard plenty of good things about Foundry. It's just one of them where it's like I'd already committed to Fantasy Grounds before Foundry was even a thing. Some mighty fine ragdoll physics. I'm good. Just ate a BLT. Noms. Now I'm gonna carry on writing my homebrew into Foundry. Good times. Cool, cool. It's been ages since I've I purchased all of Fantasy Grounds 2, and I still think Foundry has my attention most. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's one of them where it's like I've purchased Fantasy Grounds and Fantasy Grounds Unity. I've got a lot of material on there for Starfinder, which is pretty much the only system I run. I'm kind of used to it in Fantasy Grounds. Oh, maybe that was a wolf that just went off in the ragdoll physics. Because I'm seeing a circle there, I'm not seeing a body. Anyway. D and or D. I mean, I get D and D, but what is D or D? Ooh, notes. Because why not? A crumpled page from Aldhelm's journal. Day 7. A week of study, and we're still none the wiser about this device. Trindig remains optimistic. I don't know what I do without his spirit. And dearest mother and father, you will be pleased to hear that I've learnt much since coming to the city. There are incredible ruins nearby, and the Magister Greg has allowed me to accompany him on a number of expeditions. I am writing to you from inside an ancient Iguigan tower. There's an entire district built up around it, but the locals have mostly left the tower untouched. They have let us set up temporary living quarters here so our work can continue uninterrupted. It has been an unsettling place at times, but Master Greg has been a constant comfort. He is quick to remind me that the things we learn from this tower may one day help us find a cure for Waden's legacy. I'd better get some rest now. Mr. Grieg likes to get an early start to the day. All my love, Trindig. Stealing your personal letters. D or D, Dungeons or Dragons. Due to budget cuts, we can only afford one. I have 4 at the moment, depending on my mood. One is D&D, the others Vampire the Masquerade, Earth Dawn, and one is Other. I've not heard of Other, or does that mean you don't want to let us know about the system? You don't want to talk about it? I mean, I've not heard of Earth Dawn either. I'm very... As much as I appreciate that there are other systems out there, and I would love to game in other systems, my mind is very highly focused on things. So at the moment, what, Karen? You haven't heard of Earth Dawn? No, I've not heard of Earth Dawn. Well, I will keep you both in mind then. I would love to, although it's one of them where it's like, as much as I appreciate the offer, if I have to turn it down, it is nothing against you. It is just, I am tired. I do a lot, most days of the week. Essence shimmers and pulsates within this strange device. So, you know, scheduling conflicts aside, it is very it's very much one of them for me where it's like I can try to attend these things. The thing is, as much as I enjoy the happy hours and whatnot, it's one of them where it's like I kind of prefer a campaign over the one-shots, because one-shots are nice, don't get me wrong. I just find, especially when delving into other systems, unless it is a very simplistic system, for example, Tales from Loop, don't worry about turning me down. I see you're busy. Blame JStation for introducing me to you. Yeah, we can blame JStation for that. Unstreamable. I don't know. I've never actually come across a system that's unstreamable, and I can't. Why would it be unstreamable? It's a question and a half, isn't it? Let's take the money, the potion of power, and read the letter. Page from Althem's journal, day 2. We've completed our measurements of the machine, thanks to Trindig's youthful agility. Thorough examination is required to discover its intended use. They were playing around with an Inwigan artifact in the tower, so there's obviously stairs going up. Ooh, secrets. There's a wizard in there, and they're not coming through. There they are. Kill the wizard. Or at least annoying the wizard enough that he can't do anything. And that's a wizard dead. I do like guns. Got a very short reload, but the number of times where it's just like bang and then the game pauses because whatever it shot is dead. Potion of Langriff's displaced image. Not bad. Monies as well. Oh, I didn't want to click on you. I wanted you to loot everything. How are people doing? Everybody's looking a little bit rough, but I think I'm good. Patting the scratching old coverlet thickens the air with dust. No one has used this bed in weeks. I remember there's a stronghold thing. The page unturned added, and the quest expires in 1 day. A wanted criminal named near of Deft Hand has arrived at the stronghold seeking aid in the drywood. Oh, they've requested an audience. Ugh. Right, page unturned. Rewards 15% experience. The Blind Monk's Venom, minor item, expires in 24 hours, duration 2 turns. A series of murders has shocked and terrorized the scribes of White Rock Isle. Sequestered on their island monastery on the boot of Ardra, they have had little success reaching out to the mainland for help. Though renowned for their integrity, artistic talents, the scribes may be unknowingly harboring someone who is attempting to sabotage their work on forbidden books. You're off to see the monks. I suppose I should... I don't know. It's like a wanted criminal arrives and is seeking aid, and it's like, you're a wanted criminal. No, I don't want to help you. Can I arrest you? This building finished in a day and an hour, the Bailey. And back round to the mill. Okay, great stuff. It is a tower. What we're doing. Oh god, there's a lot of chatter today. Not that that's a bad thing, it's just I keep turning around and it's like, Half of that's night, but I will honestly keep that in mind. I'm hoping that people may find time for a campaign for the Expanse after the happy hour. I've got stories to tell. I've got to scream and shout and let them all out. I mean, you're more than welcome to scream and shout and let them all out, Retro Dad. I found one of the main things is like trying to... I don't know whether this is something that I'm just lucky with, or whether it's just the general rule I find. One of the main things that I find is like, when you figured out this is the system that I want to run and this is the adventure I want to run, you can invite a few people that you know that you want to join in, but as long as you announce it somewhere on the internet, you will eventually get enough players. Richard, that's the part I love the most, telling the stories. It's from J Station. Build it and they will come. It's very true that one of the things I find is it's better to build the game and then say this is when it's happening, rather than trying to find a group of people who all want a game, and then try to figure out the schedule. I know this from experience in the fact that I was interested in playing a game of Pathfinder 2nd Edition, put a post out there on the internet, and somebody came forth and said, I'd love to GM a game. And so we found a bunch of players, and then it was like, okay, we've got 7 people, 6 players and a GM. Now when can everybody do this? And it's like,
All right.
we play for like 2 hours on a Tuesday night at
What have we here?
11 while 1 a.m. I think I've read this one. Yeah. Because that's the only time that we could make for the group. Now, nothing against doing it like that if that's a way that you prefer to do these things, but I find usually it's better if you do it the other way around. You figure out when to play and then see who can make that. It just helps a little. Page from Aldhelm's journal. Day 11. Finally, we got out of the tower to clear. Finally, we got out of the tower to clear our heads. Beasts have take the patrons. We'll finish study on our own terms, our own time. Just as I say as much to Trindig, the sky came to life with stray lightning. He said it's a good omen, but the poor lad's spooked. Only cure for that is a good night's sleep. Alright. Oh, there's a revenant. You think this machine's making all the zombies? I'd also like to sit there and laugh when someone tries to do fancy spaceship move and cry from extreme G-forces. I think the expenses are hard sci-fi, as in hard science rather than sci-fantasy, which is, Starfinder is very much a sci-fi. Sorry, science fantasy, as is Star Wars and Star Trek. There's very few actual hard science TV series or movies out there, I find. Schedule Whack-A-Mole is pretty good, accurate. This time has gone on, I've gotten much better about declaring a game rather than play schedule Whack-A-Mole. Yeah, I've made that mistake in the past, but I just find it so much easier to be so like, yeah, this is what I'm running. This is when I'm running it. Can you make it? The pulling, pounding energy from the machine feels even stronger from up here. It just works out so much better. And as well, you've got that thing where you've got some degree of authoritative ground to stand on. It's like if you're playing the whole schedule Whack-A-Mole, the players are expecting you to a certain degree be a little bit more flexible with the schedule to make sure that everybody can be there, or especially them, and it can get just messy trying to move it around a lot. Whereas if you declare, okay, on a Sunday at 2 p.m. I am running a game, who wants to join? When people turn around and say, yes, I would like to join, you know that they know what time it is. You assume that they know what time it is because you've declared it up front and at the start. And if they can't make it for a few sessions, it's like, why? You knew what time it was? Something changed? Is there anything I can do to help? And if they're just like, yeah, Sunday turns out not to be a great day for me, it's like, okay, I'm sorry I can't accommodate you, But Sunday is the day that this game is scheduled. Thank you for your interest, but goodbye. Whereas if it's gather the people and it's like, I can't really do Sundays, and it's like, well, can everybody do Mondays? Can everybody do Tuesdays? Wednesday? Can we do a Wednesday? Might be a bit of a squeeze, but I could do a Wednesday. And then you're pressuring it into this tiny amount of spare time because of potentially one player. Always declare the time and then find players. Because, like I say, I declared it's about 2 years ago, so I wanted to start a Starfinder game on the Sunday. And most of my usual people weren't available. And I was interested in, meeting new people. So I just went on a forum and was like, I'm running this at this time. And I run Starfinder with the recommended 4 players. No more, no less. I got applications of people. It's like, oh, if somebody drops out, could I be in? And it's like, no promises, but I'll let you know. And I just accepted the first 4 people who turned up. Within reason. I think I rejected one who initially turned up, and it was just like, I don't feel that you're the right mix for this group. And another one afterwards where it was sort of like very much in sort of like, oh, have you started yet? I want in on this game. You've got to let me in on this game. It's like, I'm afraid we've already started. And it's like, can I join anyway? I'm really interested in playing it, and you couldn't have been at it that long, so we can always restart it if needs be, if I need catching up. And it's like, no, thank you. Patrons grow impatient with the lack of quantifiable results. They should drag themselves out of their mansions and spend a few nights in here if they think it's so easy. Day 10. Althema's journal. Is there a Christopher Nolan's Interstellar expansion for Expanse? Let's skim some black holes. Maybe, although I think the outcome will always be a TPK. I mean, it depends on how far away you're skimming it and what you mean by skimming. As long as you don't breach the event horizon, you're good. And in theory, it'd be a hell of a slingshot to get off of it. It's just, you even creep a millimeter past that event horizon and you're screwed. Althema, I did indeed receive your recent summons, as well as 2 that came before it. I've been waiting for you to present yourself on my doorstep so that I could give you my answer in person. A firm and unwavering no. I won't help you. In fact, I relish the idea of you and your team of glorified engineers sitting in the tower sweating over runes I've studied for years. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than knowing my research, which you've long disparaged, is the missing piece of your mundane little puzzle. As you well know, it's knowledge I've always valued. I'm just around the corner. I encourage you to try to find me should you wish to rehash this conversation in person. Yours truly, Ikantha. Well, that's a polite way of saying fuck off. What we got? We got Major Spellbind Arcane Dampener +1. Foe AoE, beneficial effects suspended for 15 seconds. Accuracy 10 versus will. And intelligence. What are you wearing? Overseeing? Area of affectability, combusting wounds, 3 on arrest. I really should use that more. Although anybody can use that one. What about you? You're only wearing one ring. You can put the other one on. Although you don't need intelligence. You can have the combusting wounds. You like fire. You can have intelligence because I think it's good for your class. if not just your person. Yeah, it bumps up the area of effect. It's good in a way that the stats all do something regardless of your class, but at the same token, it's like you really do kind of want to get them all. You might like Interstellar. Also, isn't there the Schwarzschild radius to worry about? I don't know the Schwarzschild radius, Meg, yet. I'm not very au fait with black holes. I've never gotten to know one personally. Why's a dog not following us around? Right, more stairs going up across the room. This is giving me a very Planescape Torment vibe. When you start off in the mausoleum. Is that how far on his kids will chase you through space? We're very high up. Find out how the Fuego machine in the Heritage Hill works. Standing near the device feels like being blown about by a storm gale. The stone hums with energy. The stone steps hum with energy. A man haunches over the strange mechanism. His spine is sharp. A sharp ridge that rises from his arch back. He's barely clothed in filthy rags, and patches of skin you see are mottled green. A spoilt stench emanates from him. He is so intent on his work that he doesn't seem to notice you until your shadow falls over him. This is not the Lighthouse. This is a tower in the Heritage Hill. When he turns and sees you, he snarls and scuttles behind the Adra pedestal. Only his bared teeth seem to have escaped decay. His eyes are yellowed and bloodshot, but they flicker with intelligence. He averts his gaze and holds a hand in front of his face.
Shouldn't be here. What do you want?
Tell me what's happened here?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He hisses. He smashes his fist into the Adra pillar. His hand makes a crunching noise, but doesn't bleed.
Forgive me. Forgive me.
He covers his face with his other hand.
Research. We came to do research on the tower. Some commission from gods. It hardly matters now.
He clenches his fist in concentration. Alof's lips twist in disgust. If I had the copter skeks for every fool animancer whose thirst for knowledge led to disaster, well, I never would have ended up in the Gilded Vale, that's for sure. Keep talking, old helm.
Something happened on our 11th night. Lights in the sky and a static charge in the air. But we were so careful. We were staying in the chambers below. Trindig, my assistant, said he saw a robed figure lurking around the tower. Wore a mask, carried knives at his sides. A trick of shadows, I told him. The next morning we felt strange, like we hadn't eaten in weeks. So dazed that we didn't at first notice the blood around our beds. The strange wounds that had appeared overnight. And the machine, this cursed spire, dormant for 2,000 years, lifeless through hundreds of our experiments, and we waked that morning to find it spinning on its own. On its own! How can we stop what we couldn't start? Years I've been doing this. Years. I know how these things work, but I don't know how this happened. Nowhere to go. That's the problem. Their souls are trapped here like flies in a jar, clinging to rotting meat.
He turns to you in a sudden burst of passion, his gaze at the forsaken district beneath the tower. He gestures at the streets. Slow down. What does this machine have to do with souls?
No time to slow down. But I can explain. Hold a magnet over iron splinters and they stick, yes? Rub your hand over weir wool and the hair of your head will follow it. So it is with this machine.
He looks at you and runs his tongue along the edges of his fine, strong teeth. He quickly looks away.
It has the power to manipulate souls, but why? For what? And how many others lie buried in the ruins of Erglonfath? No. Focus on this one. It's imprisoned our souls in our bodies. Cut the root between essence and flesh. Left a dwindling soul stuck in a shriveling husk.
How can I help?
Not your help I need. It's Heroded shrew. Squanders her research on frivolities. Then refuses to make herself useful. Runes. The runes are the last part of the puzzle. Acantha knows them. She gives them to you, and you can turn the machine off. Release our souls.
She wasn't here the night the machine came on, staying with her patron somewhere near. Too good to be burdened with our ignorant company. There was a stranger in the tower the night this happened?
I didn't see him. My assistant, he saw him. We laughed. Said he was spooked by the cemetery. Perhaps it was already too late. I don't know what he did. But by morning the machine was on and we were slain. People were already on the streets, complaining of neighbors and family members acting strangely.
You're not like the ghouls in the street.
Not yet. But I will be. My body is dead. My soul, imprisoned in this corpse, only makes it seem otherwise. And as the body decays, so does the mind. Until nothing is left but the hunger. The only way to forestall the process is through a regular infusion of essence. Living flesh is the only ready supply. I'm not proud of any of it. Hunting men and women in the early days of the affliction. Picking off soldiers that came to investigate. But I'd do it again. I'll do it as long as I must to end this disaster. You could help. Help me end this. Help me find sustenance.
What happened to the rest of your team?
By the time I realized what had happened, the district had already been sealed. So we fed when we needed, and locked ourselves in the tower to work. And then there came a time when the hunger struck, and there was hardly anyone left.
I'll get the words from Ifkantha.
Yes, Acantha. She was here, in the district. Probably here still, always prepared. Clever lady, that one. And perhaps you'll bring me something. Something to keep me sharp. Then I show you a secret about the machine. Something to make you strong.
This is an animancer in his natural state, Watcher. Never has he respected the sanctity of the god's creation. Only now he no longer has the cunning to hide it. He should be put down like a sick animal, although not without first putting his spirit through the flames test. And back down the tower we go. Hey Saber, how goes it? Proceed to the bottom. I do like the way that they've said, like, yeah, now you've made it up here, you can just leave. Although I would prefer just to leave, not just arrive at the bottom floor, but anyway, close enough. Bum 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 bum. My shoulders. Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. We got Misty. Cantha's house. I think I'm taking care of most of the stuff around here. So let's just report straight in. To the town. So you decided not to help him find sustenance. I mean, my spine is like a bendy straw. Fair enough. Sorry, I had to dash away. I think it's something to do with the size of the hole versus the gravity effect. I'd have to try reading up on it when I'm not so zombified. Fair enough.
You return. What have you come seeking this time?
I need the words that operate the Earthwagon machine in the tower.
That fool Althema. He sent you, didn't he? I can hardly believe he's had the cleverness to survive. That simpleton thinks he can understand how to use something without understanding what it is, or why it is.
Oh, then Arnie's kids are only chasing me then. Star, not Hall. Out of tier, must reboot. Wait, are we talking? So there's a lot of blurb about the Schwarzschild radius. Is that to do with black holes or stars? Or is it related to the size of a star when the black hole is created? She laughs, noise that blends with the crunch of dry leaves with something piercing and white hot. You feel a hot core of pride smouldering at the center of her soul.
He dabbles with ancient and powerful devices, with all the finesse of a blacksmith. He sends you here to petition me for aid after years of disparaging my research. I'll bet he didn't even tell you the tower's name, did he? That's his problem. Always looking for solutions without caring for meaning.
Tell me the tower's name.
Ter Nuneth. It's called Ter Nuneth. They built the machine atop it to contain souls, hold them in place. But the others I've seen, machines scattered all over the Deerwood, are relays, built to move souls.
She turns to you, wiping parchment dry hands on her clothes. How do you operate the machine at top tier now, Noweth?
Back to these tinkers' concerns. And what would you do with these tethered souls if I told you?
I'd release them.
So you say. And just what would you release them to? They'd abandon their existence here for another somewhere else, equally aimless and meaningless.
I could help you, but I won't. The pride lodged in her soul flares up, twisting into the shape of something that writhes and squeals within her. Here, I have specimens aplenty and time enough to observe them all. It's every scientist's dream. My answer is no. Extinguisheth Cantha's pride. The fanfare doesn't seem to notice as you warp your mind around the squalling, burning mess. However, it sears your very bones. You jump back, crying out in pain. I won't abandon this opportunity. These souls will remain here with me, and I'll accomplish more than any animancer in the history of the field. And who will know about it? And the pride thing flickers as the flames around it abate. All I've learnt, years of studying Ingwithan language. No one understands it better than me. That counts for something. Your opportunities here are finite. One day, that knowledge will die with you. The pride hisses and sputters. It's a little more than an ember now. You're wrong, but there's no conviction in the voice. I'll build it forever. I'll cling to it. They will give me something. That will give me something. Extinguish Ithcantha's pride. You reach for it, but it's still too hot to grasp in your mind for more than a second. It may be much, but it's still something. You can't take that away from me. Will that really be enough for you? The dying cinder clings to life. It will be. It must be. Teach me what you know. I'll make sure it grows and your legacy lives on. Your words finally quench her pride, and all that remains is a blackened diamond hard rock. You cast it away, where it melts into the darkness.
So be it. My studies and efforts shall grow through yours.
Her voice is quiet, calm and quiet. Oh god. Stuff. Tower of Creepy Death. Oh no. Release him or, profit. There's a limit to the size of a star and what it will make when it dies, but that has another name. I should just link the videos of some person or some channel. Let people learn while watching animated ducks perish for science. Yeah, I have no idea how to pronounce that channel's name. But yeah, if you link it in the Discord, I'm pretty sure somebody would be interested somewhere. I might give it a watch if I get the time. So tired. So tired.
These are the words you need.
The cold, dry fingertips rest on your temples, and you can feel her reaching into your mind, forming images from the darkness. Runes flash through your head, but they're no longer just pictures. They have meaning, and you understand them. They're commands. Something triggers in your mind, a distant memory unearthed from a past life long since buried. You can see a vast array of runes, far more than Ithcan has shown you, and you know their sounds and their meanings and how they fit together. The language of Engwith once more at your command.
Something has awakened in your mind. You understand far more than I ever did. Take this knowledge then, and do what you will with Ter Nuneth. Now that you understand its purpose, it will serve you in whatever way you wish.
She retreats from you. Certainly. What do I do with the tower now I know these words?
Turn it off, I expect. That will be easy now that you can read the runes. The vessels would still roam, but striking them down would return their essence to the cycle. But be careful. That machine controls hundreds of souls, and that volume of essence could easily overload it. Improperly channeling the essence would destroy the machine along with the souls. It would be a terrible loss for posterity.
She seems pretty chill that you've just usurped her life's work. Lol. I mean, I think to a certain degree it's a... side effect of the setting, as it were. You know, there's always some chance that you could be an accomplished scholar, blacksmith, or something like that, and just by conversing with somebody unlocks some reincarnated past of theirs that then allows them to do better, or, you know, they might have been a master blacksmith for generations of lives, and just speaking with you unlocks it, and all of a sudden this guy who knew nothing of blacksmithing now suddenly knows much more than you. They're likely to be rare and infrequent, but at the same token, you know, if that is something that happens in the world around you just by happenstance, you kind of would have to get used to it. Especially, you know, given the fact that you can't kill it. All you'd be doing then is passing that soul on to another form, who would then eventually maybe unlock the same secrets. We should destroy the machine. It doesn't matter whether the souls inside belong to the wheel or oblivion. Their lives are over. Dead is dead. You said other towers around Drywood were constructed to move souls. Why would the Enwigan have wanted to do that? Another mystery. Hypothetically, anywhere they wished. The real question, as always, is why. To intermix them the way a player shuffles his cards, the way the farmer rotates his fields. To collect them like butterflies under glass. To melt them down for raw essence. Unfortunately, I don't know. Remind me, how do you know so much about the tower? I read the runes like a journal. I understand their meaning. People like Althema try to read them like instruction manuals, but in doing so they miss their true meaning completely. I still don't understand why the Enwigans would want to build a machine that tethers souls. Perhaps they didn't. Perhaps that's why they built no other machines like this one. We now see the Enwigans as masters of soul manipulation, but they couldn't have attained their expertise without copious trial and error. Perhaps this was one such experiment. Explain how the controls work? Harness the power of Tir Naweth is about understanding what it was designed to do. You know the words and their meanings. You can speak them, and the tower shall obey. That is all, thanks. Bye! Not sure if that got picked up on the microphone, but I'm pretty sure a motorcycle just went past somewhere. It came through in chunks. Fair enough. The thing is, it's always one of them weird ones. It's like, it's nowhere out front to pick up any kind of speed, so making a lot of noise like that is totally pointless. But at the same token, I think it echoes somehow off the main road occasionally, which is like 2 houses in the other direction. Just weird. Right, to the top of the tower. Let's save it, because I do kind of want a particular outcome in this, and it's not been clear. Jagged Adra pillars rise in front of you, encased in stonework and run through with copper veins. The panel is covered with runes, much which you can now understand. You recognize the word for end and for hold. The dial is currently fixed on hold. You also recognize by the inscription that the manner in which you turn the dial is a means of throttling the device. I got a loud bike in it, mate. The thing is, most people around here don't do that kind of thing. I appreciate where you're coming from, but, you know, I don't know. It's just weird to me. Maximize the machine's throttle in the hopes of overloading the device, potentially destroying it, potentially, well, it stopped zombies from ever happening here again. But I'm currently stood very close to said device. Screw it, let's blow things up. Mustering a command, you give the dial a violent twist. The moving spires spin faster and faster, wobbling from their axis. The light filling the machine quickly becomes too bright to behold. You look away and cover your ears, but the thunderous crash that follows shakes the floor beneath you. When you look back again, the machine is ruined, never to be used again. You guys might not want to stand so close. So expecting him to fall down dead. Hey, there we go. Taxes collected. Lost 114 to bandits, but earned 651.
Still and silent. It's finally over.
I mean, is that it? Is it done? I didn't want to leave, I want to proceed to the bottom. I mean, we've not looked around outside yet. But you're alright, it went a lot better than I was expecting. I was expecting an earth-shattering kaboom. Where is my earth-shattering kaboom? Find out that we're just now floating in space and it's like, oh. Well. Very misty. See, seeing as though I killed everything already, it's like, what evidence have I got that this worked? The only other zombie was... Defiance Bay owes me. I better get a manor in Brackenbury first. It wasn't a curse, but yes, the district is safe again. I think it'll be some time before anyone's willing to settle in the district again, but at least we can get started on restoring it. I mean, refugees. A brief moment of silence for the boiling water in my kettle. You will be missed. Shouldn't do that for too long, I'll end up falling asleep. Where was I going after that? I just... See, this is the part that I don't understand about this game. It's like, I was expecting some kind of revelation there, where it's like, aha. But nothing. Absolutely nothing. Apart from maybe going back to the Hermit of Hadred house. I think I do need to go to Brackenbury. Yeah, I do need to go back to Brackenbury. I think this is Hadlard House is here. The charred barrels all the way around. Okay, we'll go here first. How are we doing? Oh yeah, we leveled up not too long ago. Alex. Why is there so many assassins? You all want to move out of circles. Not sure what the circles signify, but don't keep murdering the same assassin. I think that one's dead. I'm done with your shit.
How may I help? Either. There we go. Kill that assassin. That's not very helpful.
Wasn't meant to be helpful. It was meant to be deadly.
Spot on.
Of course.
Wodica huts. So it's the Wodicans that are after me, maybe. Who knows? Maybe this person knows about the assassins.
Welcome.
Oh, God, my word. Excuse me, but I've been looking for you. You're the one who lifted the curse on Heritage Hill? I mean, I've literally only just done that, and it wasn't a curse for the final time. My lady, who wishes to remain anonymous, has entrusted me with bringing you this pistol. It belonged to a dear friend of hers who was lost to the curse. For your part in reclaiming Heritage Hill, my lady wishes you have this. My lady wishes you have this. Here, may it serve you well in battle. I wonder how much I can get for selling this. Is that all? I expect more. Thank you. She bows. You are quite welcome. Saint Graham's Spark added to inventory. Now I must be off. Farewell. I got a gun. They trusted me with a gun. How does it compare? No, I don't want to compare it to Shame and Glory. I want to compare it to my pistol. Right, so they're both very slow. They're both weak at interrupts. The old pistol does 25 to 35 piercing damage. The new one does 22 to 30. The accuracy is -5 on both. Veil piercing versus deflection on both. Plus 10 accuracy granted to an ally attacking the same target. Plus 25 shock damage, bypass DR6. Negative 0.3 to crit damage multiplier, and it's got some enchantments on it already. I mean, I can add fine, and I can add fine to this one, can I? Enchant. Can I add fine to it? No, I can't. What am I missing for fine? I'm missing Pilgrims Crown. And missing levels on that one. And other things, but also the levels. It's one of them where it's like the fine one. I might be able to buy some Pilgrim's Crown if I can remember where the shops are. But I can't, so I'm pretty sure there's shops maybe in the market. It's already got a shocking lash on there. Can't put a second one on. But I could give it the fine, which will increase its damage a little bit, bring it more back up to what I'm used to. But the accuracy for everyone else is also very useful. So we are going to switch out pistols. They are really big pistols. Historically, with pistols, it's not like the size of your arm. Pretty sure that pistol barrel is as long as their arm. Right, will you let me go to the place that I wanted to go yet? My sock is doing a very good job at annoying me. There we go. Is it upstairs? Do I need to go upstairs, don't I? I've seen some historic ones in museums that are about as big as your arm. Fair enough. I just find it odd that there's a pistol that's as long as your arm when it's like, why not just, you know, put a handle on there and make it a rifle?
How fares your search?
There's something I can tell you about the Leaden Key's operations.
Well, let's hear it.
The Entwickled Tower in Heritage Hill contains an ancient machine that can control the flow of souls. The Leaden Key activated it.
This is troubling. That civilization seems to have known more about the mechanics of souls than anyone since. The Leaden Key was born in that period. It may be that Theos has full knowledge of their technology. The applications of this machine you speak of, I don't want to think about it.
I mean, you don't need to worry about it. I blew it up.
That isn't enough to take to the Duke, but we're close. Avar Wolfgren is a cautious man. He will want to know everything possible before being moved to action.
That is all. Farewell! Love to be part of the secret organization. At the moment you finish talking, you say farewell and then exit the room in the most dramatic manner possible. I think it'd just be a bit, you know, sort of like on point for a secret organization where it's like, farewell, jump out the window. Farewell, backflip out the door, that kind of thing. Certainly sounds slightly more entertaining than just like, bye, stumble, stumble, stumble out the door. Maybe it's just me. Bump. There's a bleeding door to the pub, there it is. Woohoo! Excuse me. I am the tired. The Chancellor. So, like, why am I here again? I can't quite remember. Lady Castro, what brings you to Blackenbury? Look around the room. You realize the charred barrel has gone quiet, and turn to see the last of the patrons quickly disappearing through the front door. A moment later, a group of armed men and women stride into the tavern. Oh dear, the Chancellor quickly ducks behind the table. The woman leading this armed group lowers her cowl with one hand while keeping the other on a pistol tucked into her belt. You immediately recognize Gathbin's captain. Now that the sheep have been herded from their pen, you and I can conduct our business, unfortunate as it may be. What do you want? Oh, I think you know. Lord Gathbin has ordered your death. She forces a frown. A shame, really. I admire your exploits, even if only half of them are true. Sadly, I have my orders. Gathbin will lose. You should work for me. The man is a swine, albeit noble, wealthy swine. Her lip curls in feigned disgust. Were I to do it again, I doubt I would have taken him with him. But what's done is done, and Lord Gathbin is as ruthless as he is arrogant. He'll go to great lengths to avenge a betrayal. What could you What could you offer to make me consider such a risk? A lot less pain. Attack me, and I'll make you suffer. A simple bribe, walk away and pretend this conversation never happened. Yeah, let's try it. A better life, working for an honourable lady. I've heard such stories about you. They can't all be true, can they? She's silent a moment. Tales of your charity, your kindness, but I also see strength in you. But is it enough to best Lord Gathbin? That's a gamble too rich for my blood. Still, I think I can tell Gathbin that you don't take the bait and never showed up here. No need for anyone to die today, huh? She looks at her troops and they nod in agreement. Know this, the day will soon come when you must face Gathbin. I've lived this long by knowing which side to be on. Prove yourself on the battlefield and who knows? Until we meet again, Kashra. Bom, bom, bom. Well, that was unexpected. Warren emerges from beneath his table and smooths his rumpled sleeves of his robes. It does make strange reports I've received from the grass more sense in context, however. Go on. Elbaid decided to keep an eye on Lord Gathbin's activities. Gathbin has been hiring a lot of men recently, but for what purpose, we can't say. I advise you take extra precautions at Said Nua. He may be attempting to place spies or saboteurs within your walls. Be wary, Kashra. I don't think you've seen Lord Gathbin's endgame yet. He swallows the rest of his ale and gives you a curt nod before heading for the door. Return to Said Nua. Dun dun da. We go to the Hall of the Revealed Mysteries in Copper Lane. The Elder Archives are hidden in the Hall of the Revealed Mysteries, which is on Copperfield Lane. I'll find the Elder Archive somewhere in the Great Library located there. Ninier, an animancer I met in the front of Blackenberry Sanitarium, told me that the Elder Archives and a Renan manuscript contains one, including one by an animancer named Pangram. She needs the theorems of Pangram to continue her research, but the archivists won't give her access. Copper Lane. I'm pretty sure it's over this way.
Hey, Olaf, can I, talk to your, your friend?
What is it about Isilmir? I'm right here, you know.
No, you're both great. It's just, well, I feel like I don't get to spend as much time with her, and she's just so funny. I mean, some of the things she says
Are not nearly as funny when you've been hearing them for 50 years.
"12 minutes to Copper Lane." And the archivists are where again? Ah, the Hall of Real Mistress. There we go. You might find it around here. Actually, I think... Is that the marketplace? That is the marketplace. Let's go over here, and we're looking to buy some Pilgrims mushroom. Forget what it's called. Doop doop doo. Doop doo doo. Ta-da!
Hail, traveler.
Hail and sell me things. Oops. I just know what it was. Yeah. They're very nice rings. Very expensive as well. Pilgrims Crown. There we go. Buy a lot of them. Why not? Spoil yourself. Alright. Let us get rid of some junk. Anything that's not magical are the first things to go. Although 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They oh crumbs. I put something magical in there. Although I'm keeping 6 of those, but I'm not allowed to wear helmets, so it's a bit of a moot point. There we go. I'll take your Pilgrim's Crown, and you will give me 4,000 copper pieces. Ta-da! Yeah, whoops. May have sold the cloak of the Obsidian Order. It's a pre-order, not pre-order, Kickstarter thing. Right, what was I doing? That was it. I was clicking on you, right-clicking on this, enchanting this quality fine badoosh. There we go. Now when we compare the two, same amount of damage, same accuracy, but got the benefits of that shock damage rather than the burn damage. Nice, 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 nice. Right, off we go, back to the archives. Do 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 do. Hello, Internet. How's everybody doing this evening? I am tired. My brain is just not firing at the moment on all cylinders. It's like, I'm a streamer, I'm supposed to keep talking about things all of the time, and my brain's just like, nah. Right, find the... What am I finding? I found a way inside the Hall of Revealed Mysteries, but the Elder Archive lies behind more locked doors. I mean, I wasn't intending on breaking in here.
Welcome.
An animancer named Nida asked me to retrieve the Theorems of Pangram from the Elder Archives. Thank you for letting me know. I'll be sure to tuck the tome away from prying eyes and see that Nida never sets foot in here again. In the meantime, here is a token of our appreciation. I'm... okay, fair enough. That was one way of dealing with the quest. Ta-da! Quest complete by accidentally crossing up from the person. In the stream, we see in the stream, we see a sleep-deprived Chiron in his natural habitat. Yes, indeed, we do. We do indeed. Oh, a series of... Oh, yeah, I read that one. After failing to prevent an additional 2 deaths, Kana and the monks were able to track down the murderer, a secretive scribe of the order that the other monks had believed had died years ago. In reality, the scribe had been hiding in the catacombs beneath the monastery and progressively destroying heretical works that he believed spread lies about the origins of the gods. When the monks started to catch on, he killed anyone who raised suspicion. Rather than facing punishment, the scribe leapt from the highest tower of the monastery to his death. In the scribe's subterranean laboratory, Kana discovered several suspicious vials of thick brown fluid. The monastery's herbalist identified it as a potent poison, the same that is likely to have been used. The same that had likely been used to kill the monks. Raw damage. If successful, blinded poison 10 seconds, sickened poison 10 seconds, accuracy versus fortitude. Once per encounter. Blind monk's venom. Nice. There is nothing to report. How's this thing doing? 20 hours, okay. Right. Next random thing to do. Don't know where that is. You kind of know where that is. Don't want to go there just yet. Lighthouse thing. Do I want to do the lighthouse? Alright, thank you, J-Station, for the look. I shall catch you later. Enjoy your food. Don't really want to do that one. Still don't know where that one is. Endless paths. Don't really want to do. Don't know why that one was highlighted. I might have gotten a good enough reputation. Right, let's go back to the lighthouse and see if we can't deal with that now. Do we want to heal up?
I'm ready.
I have a feeling we might want to heal up. We're gonna go heal up. Got a couple of people with wounds, or at least one person with a wound. And blah 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 blah. And more than one person on orange, yellowish health. Might as well freshen up at the end before moving on to do other things. Oh boy. To the end. The world's weirdest Kong line. Da 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 da. Into the pub. Yeah, they get into the same formation as soon as I get through the door. Can I get a room? We shall go with the Fletcher's Rest. Mainly for the benefits of the ranged attack accuracy. Into the inn. Seems that 4 out of the 6 people. Let me in. 4 out of 6 people do ranged attacks. I don't know. I've seen a conga line of Elvis, Elvi leaving a coach.
No, not these days. Parents left the country years back during the purges. I think about him a lot.
It's a shame you and your family suffered, even after the Saints' War ended. You dear Woodens certainly have a knack for holding on to old grudges.
But yeah, it also gives me a bonus in mechanics and athletics. The athletics not so useful, but the mechanics is useful for the removal of traps and opening of locks. Although I think to a certain degree, because I've highly specialised everybody in the party down skill lines, rather than haphazardly randomising them, it's like, there's no lock that I cannot unpick. There's no scroll that Elf can't read. There's no thing that somebody else can do. Can't do. Just feels a little bit so like, I get the feeling that the system was kind of designed, especially with so few skills, it was kind of designed that, you know, you're supposed to try and do everything with everyone. Seems a little bit odd to me. God, I can't stop yawning. If I keep this up, I might actually end the stream early and just be like, alright, I'm gone. I'm done. But we shall see how this goes. Have I opened this door once? Let's just quick save it just in case this all blows up in my face. No, I didn't go upstairs. Or I didn't... I think I went upstairs, died, and then decided against going upstairs. Right, into formation. Sneak.
Be cautious. Be constant.
Done, like now? Yep. Stick a fork in me, cause I'm done. No longer sneak. Start with the murder.
Can't get a good shot with this.
Alright. Oh, that might have been useful to begin with, but alas, we didn't use it then. Gonna go with the biggest boom now. What happened? Oh, one target is down. Who opened the door down there? You, more of whatever that was, it was useful. Let's have some will-o'-the-wisps onto the field. You attack that one, you attack that one. You attack that, you attack that. You're really not looking so good. Second wind yourself.
Here's a lesson to be taught.
What happened? Oh, a will-o'-the-wisp is low on endurance. I don't care. Murder that thing.
Consumed by the flame. Curses.
The way that we're just ignoring this one spectre while we take care of the shades. Alright, maybe we should deal with the spectre.
Hey.
Kill this shade, maybe? Thank you.
Curses.
Run away!
Row up 10! Werde bil dan sawu.
Strange and funny words, Adalu. Alright. I do feel that a lot of this is just doing it at the right level. You just don't know what level it is until you're actually trying to do it. No, don't run out there. Examine that. The compounds and fluids in these bottles have separated into distinct layers. Take some mead. Yellow fading maps of the bay around Ondra's gift show routes through the locks between the dikes that hold the ocean back. Carved into this post is the name of Mewith and a series of notches labelled with numbers. The lowest notch reads 4, the highest notch reads 17. Yoink. Ooh. Lighthouse tower key. Evacuation notice. The notice is stiff with age and salt. Adran reinforcements advancing. Immediate evacuation of Andra's gift is ordered by Duke Hadret. Selected correspondence of gift bearer Aiden. Sing, O ocean waves of Andra's sorrow, for her unrequited love of the unattainable moon. Sing of the ocean's sorrow, so that we may forget our own. Each day the tides reenact Andra's longing for the great moon. The watchers reach out at high tide, yearning for the heavenly body, only to slump into low tide when the moon proves unattainable. I think I've read that before. Which is all fine and well, but I don't feel like reading right now. And open sesame. Hey look, more stairs. Yay. Do you know what that means? More bad guys. Woo. No, no. Singuala. Shrieking sobs pierce your ears and rattle the musty rafters of the lighthouse. They emanate from the spectral figure of the woman hovering in the middle of the room. Each heave of her shoulders unleashes another hair-raising wail. Get closer. As you approach, the spirit cries take on a threatening edge. The swirling mist around its legs ripples with movement. The black pits of its eyes level momentarily with yours. Observe the Singuala. You're close enough to notice that the spirit's head is tilted back. Even as it looses blood-curdling howls, the faint movements of its head suggest that it is looking towards the windows, scanning the horizon. The Singuala's ghostly hands are stained with something dark. At first, you think it's blood, but it's as black as ink. The logbook expels a thick plume of dust. 6th Photonaut 2672. Foggy. Port full. 158 days since sighting the Red Dream. 12th 2672. Heavy rain. 2 fishing boats lost at sea. 164 days since sighting the Red Dream. 1 Toraton 2672. Dark clouds. Adrian's ships on the horizon. 173 days since the sighting of the Red Dream. The last Lighthouse keeper kept a log seemingly of the final days of the War of Defiance. The person was also tracking the appearance of a ship called the Red Dream. Naya might know more about it.
I can get it to spill its secrets. It's done.
Jack of Wide Waters. Exceptional light armor with +2 of survival. Oh, it does look good. Who is wearing light armor? So 7 could take you up to an 8. Slightly better recovery speed though. Slightly worse recovery speed. You're wearing heavy armor, you're wearing heavy armor, you're wearing heavy armor. I suppose I should put on some armor, maybe. Might help. Who's survival? That is the first question I should ask. I have nothing in survival, nothing in survival, 9 in survival, nothing, 2. Sangi gets it. It'll slightly increase the speed of the bow. That is a very vibrant blue. Oh wow, just had Amazon come back and deliver my good after failing to do so earlier. Consider me shocked. I think I've had that like once before. Where they tried to deliver and then reattempted in the same day. I think to a certain degree it kind of depends on the route that the person's been assigned. And if they find time or a way to swing round, they'll give it another go. The thing is also, nothing surprises me when it comes to Amazon because they seem to have no rhyme or reason to anything. You know, on Friday I ordered an air fryer. And at the time I ordered it, they said it'll be with me on Tuesday. Then, when it was dispatched, they said it'll be with you Monday. Fair enough. Woke up Sunday morning to an email saying we're going to attempt to deliver it today. It's like, you guys really need to make up your mind about these things. Where is she? So like she. Oh wait, is that her? There we go. Finally saw her before wandering off. Have you heard of the Red Dream? Who hasn't? That ship's been running raids for decades now. Used to stop in New Hereomar laden with spoils from Ruataya traders. These days, I hear she spends most of her time prowling the Deadfire Archipelago. Naya points at the ship anchored in the distance. That's her. When she's at port, her captain, an elf named Mirwith, takes shore leave over at the Charred Barrel in Blackenbury. Believe it or not, she likes her creature comforts. She shakes her head. That's what I'm talking about. When a pirate won't even set foot in the tavern on this side of town, it's high time for a new establishment. Right, let's go talk to them. So my cat's asked, thinking about getting a proper microphone instead of gaming headset, what do people use? That's in the Discord, by the way, but I can see the Discord because it's on my phone. I have here, I say here, there we go. This is basically a arm attached to what is a Rode, oh god, box is over there and I can't see it from over here. No, I'm going to have to go look at it. 1 second. It's a Rode NT USB. Now, one of the benefits of this mic, and you can get other mics like it, I'm not, saying, oh, you must get this mic. There's a few around. But what it has is this audio jack into it, which is what's connected to these headphones. One of the things that allows is I've got a set of headphones that I know is permanently attached to it. None of this Bluetooth stuff. Don't mind Bluetooth headphones. I've got a set which is tethered to my phone. But at the same token, it's just comfortable. And one of the benefits of it being tethered into that is I can actually hear myself. You might think that's a bad thing, but on the side of this there's a couple of dials, and one of these dials is related to how much I can hear myself and how much I can hear the game. What that means is when I'm talking to you people, if the game is too loud, or if the game isn't loud enough, now that it's all correctly balanced out, I hear what you hear, roughly. You can adjust your individual sliders, and there is a slight discrepancy in the difference between what I hear and what you hear. But for the most part, it's the same. There is also not a delay on it because it's essentially going straight into the mic and straight down this wire. So there isn't the delay in hearing it back to yourself, so you don't get that cognitive disjunction of hearing an echo in your own voice, and that gives it that benefit of you can hear yourself, you can balance the audio fairly well. I've not had anybody really come into my stream and say, oh, your audio levels are a bit off, you need to make yourself louder or the game quieter or anything like that. I have a pretty good control over that. It's like a beginner studio level of mic, which is why it fits into that cradle fairly well. Again, there are others, but because it's on an arm, I can position this, I can twist it around, I can move it around. If I didn't want it in the frame of the camera at all, I can put it all the way up there. But straight away, I can hear. Now, it's so far away, it's not very good. I'm quieter, so I'm going to have to speak louder if I want to remain the same volume. And you can adjust your own volume in how loud you're speaking by how much you can or can't hear yourself. It also, to a certain degree, that same recognition, once it gets in there, is that you really shouldn't be speaking away from the mic. People can hear you, but they can hear you a lot better when you're actually speaking at the mic. This is also a semi-directional mic, so one of the things that you might want to consider when it comes to mics is, do you want omnidirectional, bidirectional, or directional? A omnidirectional is great for if you've got a few people in the room that you need to hear. It's basically an array of microphones so that people can be sat around a table and everybody can hear it. The only problem with that, though, is if the dog starts yapping out the window, everybody can hear the bleeding dog. Bidirectional mics, it's basically an interview mic. Works front and back. I'm on one side, you're on the other. It will pick us both up, but hopefully not the dog barking out the window. And this is a directional mic, I believe, or a interview, one of the two, but it's fairly good at cutting out the background noise. I found reasonably well out of the box. I do also have a filter on OBS, so that it's got to breach a certain level before it's picked up, which kind of helps with cutting out some of the background random noises. But yeah, other things to consider is, do you actually have any other uses that you want for it? This is just plugged into a USB port, so it's compatible with just about anything that'll take USB. So, you know, if I wanted to, I could take the show on the road, stream from a laptop, and just plug the mic into that. You can also get the traditional microphone connection, but then you'd need an interface. But that interface, you know, maybe it's a mixing deck, maybe it's just a fancy sound card, will allow you to do more or less with it, depending on how much you're willing to invest. Like I say, this is Rhodes. I mainly got a Rhodes one because I got a lot of different recommendations, but Rhodes, although I'm not much into it, is one of the few brands that I actually recognized as sort of like a semi-professional level. I mean, they go up to professional level mics. It's Rode. If you look, well, it's RODE, but the O is also stylized as a diameter symbol. The benefits of the arm that you put it on is it's a lot less, because it's in a shock cradle. Because you can get it without this shock cradle. That's one of the things. Because it's in a shock cradle on an arm, it's less prone to picking up vibrations. Or noise from vibrations. So, you know, if I bang the table, it's not going to deafen the mic. And subsequently, everybody around it, because it's getting bashed around. It does allow me to put it out of the way fairly easily when I'm not using it. I know that J-Station 64 uses Yeti mics. Though the Yeti mic has one of the benefits of, if you go for the right one, I forget which one it is, they have a switch that allows you to change what style of mic it is behaving as. So it can be directional, bidirectional, omnidirectional, all in one mic. Pretty good brand. I've heard of it before. I've never used it before. It's popular with a lot of streamers, I've heard. I think one of the things about a microphone is how much money do you want to spend on it? Because you can get a fairly good quality mic fairly cheaply, but you might find that there's some limitations. You know, it might have some crackling at the edges. It might crackle when you blow it out if you suddenly scream or something like that. And the higher up you go, the more it can pick up before it gives up, as well as it tends to give up slightly more gracefully, more features in making it omnidirectional, the rest of it, better noise cancelling, etc, etc, etc. There's a lot of choices to be had. You know, you could in theory go all the way up to spending a couple of grand and getting a studio quality mic for absolutely the best vocal experience. It's a little bit overkill for streaming, if you ask me. But if you've got the money and you're willing to spend it on a mic, then go for it. Why not? But if you've only got, you know, sort of like 50 quid to spend on a mic, to a certain degree, you want to be shopping around, but you do want to be factoring in all of these things as to, so like, where do you want the mic to sit on the scale of things. And thank you for coming to my TED Talk on microphones. What am I doing? I'm going to Brackenbury. Feel free in chat, by the way, anybody who, I don't mind people talking about their setup and or rigs. If anybody else has got some mic suggestions, I know that Retro Ted's done I think they've got a reasonable setup. I'm not entirely sure. I do know that they were doing a lot of experimentation with microphone settings and voice modulators and the rest of it. Mine was 30 quid off Amazon. I mean, it sounds reasonable enough. If you've ever listened to All That Glitters Explodes, or Retro Ted's own stream, of course. So it's not exactly like it's a terrible quality mic. Sounds reasonable enough. If you've got a link to it, drop it in the chat or drop it in the Discord. One of the problems with dropping it in the chat, if anybody wants to see it later, they'll have no idea where to go for it. If you drop it into the Discord, I'm pretty sure we've got a channel somewhere for talking about these things, if not the general one. Right. Who am I looking for? Merwith. Are they upstairs? They might be upstairs. Saw some people upstairs. Pirates! Here we go. If I wanted company, I go to a salty mast. Merwith's gold tooth catches the candlelight. What is it this time? Someone of the old lighthouse in Ondra's Gifts was looking for your ship. I didn't peg you for a liar. At least not from what I've heard. She looks you over, narrowing her eyes. But that don't mean I believe you. She leans in, her voice low, a low hiss. You better explain what gives you this interesting, what gives you such an interesting notion. The last lighthouse keeper watched for your ship every day. It's all in the log. Now, she snarls. Her snarl flashes a gold tooth. She turned me out. We were poorer than the fishermen who live there now, and when she learned I put food on our table with stolen coin, she told me that if she never saw me again, it'd be the mercy of the gods. Her dark eyes are filled with rage. I had nowhere else to go. It was a rough life until I rose to captain. She ignored the Aedrin advance to stay behind. I think she was waiting for you. She turns her eyes away. She was always so stubborn. I forgot sometimes where I got it. She gulps down the rest of her wine. I'll go. Perhaps it will give us both some peace. And now we go back off to the place. The lighthouse, that's where we're going. In Ondra's Gifts. Wow, I am tired. My brain is just going. Gone. I don't think all these load screens help. I'm not a big fan of when games get disjointed like this, where it's all a lot of just running around. I appreciate that it gives it a more natural feel. You don't really expect when you go exploring and find somebody and it's like, I want to speak with this individual, and then you walk down the street 10 paces and it's like, Yes, I was hoping for a message from so-and-so. It's like, you were like 10 paces away. You could have shouted at each other and known about the message. If that is a little bit weird, but also at the same token, it's like, I've done a lot of just loading screens this session. There's been some combat, I'll admit, but there's also been a lot of loading sessions while I travel around and just run across the districts. Yeah, Hexgrid Heroes is recommending the Blue Yeti. So go to for starters. They use it. Happy with it. I have no idea what the rest of the message means. I looked into this and I kind of understood it as much as I needed to figure out which one I wanted to get. And then I just figured might as well go for whichever one. But I was the same as you, Mike. I started on a headset with mic. So my work's headset and mic. Shh, don't tell them. It wasn't bad, but the other thing about having this rather than a headset and mic is the fact that these are changeable and these are comfy. I know I don't need to come up here, but I want to come up here because I want to see this. If the Banshee is still here. They are not. I was hoping to hear a conversation. Oh well. Lilith Shawl. Aura of Stealth. Perception of +3. And it's in an aura? Interesting. Didn't mean to put that in there. Oh. Click yeah, click that, click that, click that. And what's this? The Light of the Dawn, the Recurring Morality Play, Part 1, Charity and Generosity. I think I've read this. Yeah, I've already read Part 1. Where's Part 2? See all these changing of layers as well. Loading screens. Ugh. Yeah, I did kind of like it in the other tower where you got to the top and you clicked on the stairs to go down and it says, do you want to go to the bottom floor? And it's like, yes, yes I do. Luckily these aren't very long loading screens, I'll admit, but at the same token, just so many of them so rapidly, it's like, could you not just get us down the stairs and out the door in a click? Well, you never guess what happened, Naya points at the lighthouse. I was keeping an eye out for you, and who strolls down the dock but Merweth herself? You should have seen the stare she got. But she walks right into the lighthouse, never said a word to anyone, and just when I'm sure she met some awful fate in there, she strolls right on out, still saying nothing to nobody. Now I'm hearing all sorts of rumours about Merwith and the last lighthouse keeper. She shakes her head. I don't know what to believe, but everyone else around here is convinced that the place is safe again. I've even got my construction crew getting ready to start work. You've gained 1,000 copper pieces. You lost the evacuation notice, the logbook, and you gained some experience. She takes a deep breath, a big, contented smile on her face. And now I know I've got you to thank. Here, this is for you. Come back when the renovations are done. I've got big plans for this place.
Right fetching feathers, lass.
Repeat, please, in Adirim. And stand closer so I can grab your neck if you said what I think you did.
That was Isilmir. She likes your feathers.
Thanks, but I'm not interested, Isilmir.
They actually renovated this place near instantly. See, this is the other thing, curiosity. Loading screen. Oh, they have done this up pretty much instantly. Is there anybody of interest in here? There's a chest that I can rob. I never expected to see such a massacre such as this in my lifetime. I was in my study trying to pack up important documents for the evacuation, never dreaming that the Adrians would act so drastically. It was my wife, Neoloch, who first heard the cracking of the levees. We climbed to the roof when the waters reached the top of the stairs. My 3 children, Snave, Lieb, Elsa, and Kyr, we held. The water reached our chests, and the only thing that kept us from getting swept away before it subsided was holding on to the chimney. That we had just repaired. The other families were not so lucky. When the waters finally subdued, the road was littered with debris, mud, and rotting fish. Half the district had been swallowed by the sea. Bodies floated in the tide along with what was left in the homes. We burned the citizens we found. The poor souls had nobody else to remember them by, so I'll document them here. I'm not sure if they had loved ones who survived the flood, but it's better their names be written down rather than washed away with so much else in that horrific flood. William Bloody Bill Thistlewood, Butcher. Albel Nordbringer, Professor. Red Wolf Spearman. Star Halfter the Devoted, Priest. Kilrath Crimsonblade, Swordmaster. John Graham, City Garrison. Kortuk Prize Hunter. Valhyr, Archivist. Edvar Solinars, Poet. Magistrum, Tactician. Cloud Nothralas, Teacher. Erik Lordenvan, Astronomer. Jelrith, Archer. Deathtalk, Undertaker. Daedug, Fisherman. Zantidai, Monk. Avir, Herbalist. Jordlen, Tanner. Kanthrok, Conlon, Alchemist. Zordran, Mage. Gavinus, Knight. Galorian, Dragonheart, Politician. Irana Gemstar, Appraiser. Vigoro, Artist. Kaelin Hallowed, Assassin. That wasn't a profession. Lauren Pollacus, Physician. Minos Manaris, Duelist. Amathor, Bodyguard. Dracios, Trader. Fenthir, Protector of the Order. Kron, Sellsword. Obrain, Baron, Smith. Mazagal, Barrister. Edron Cole, Miner. Yurith, Infantry. Lilith, Lighthouse Keeper. I'm not gonna rob off this place. How do you like what I've done with the place? She dusts her hands with the clothing. The rooms are still under construction, but I can get you food and drink if you'd like. Let me see what you got. Anything particularly of interest? Not really. Bye! Right, what else is there to be doing? I'm curious, what's my reputation in... I'm a hero? I'm not yet a champion, so I'm not sure if that'll be enough to get me into the archives. But we'll try the first fires and see if we can get into the archives for Ida. I am a hero after all. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Charge. I have a feeling that there's another town that I'm supposed to be going to. And as much as I don't mind, you know, the story is interesting, in as much as I don't know what's going on, but I am sort of like interested in where this leads. There's a lot of talking, so much talking. And it's, you know, if we just take a quick look at the map, I'm supposed to be going over to Elm's Reach at some point. And there's these 4 places again, and it's like, do I really want to? You know, I've also got the White March to go off for the village, although don't know when I'm going to get around to doing that. I have a feeling that, you know, possibly should wait until I'm roughly in double digits for levels at least. Right, let's find out if they let me see the records for either.
Good day, stranger.
I'm looking for militia records from around the time of the Saints' War, trying to find out what happened to someone. The man clears his throat. We've had a number of inquiries about such information. I'm afraid we've had to bar access to the public. It seems there are still quite a number of folk in Briarwood who bear ill towards the raid clans. It would be irresponsible to surrender their names to just anyone. Many came to settle here are refugees. For the first time, he turns his full attention towards you, and his eyes flicker in recognition. Of course, our policy is for the general public. Exceptions can be made for those who have already proven their worth. He looks up at the shelf and withdraws a thick volume, shifting a layer of dust aside with his hand. The rosters are in the front and inventories of the dead in the back. He passes it to Idar's outstretched hands. Idar leafs through the book for some time anxiously, running his thick farmhand fingers over page after page of names. At last, his hand stops, his finger just below one name.
Odin Talesh died 18 Majavernho 2808. Third Battle of Cleaban Relock. Blazing Glonfather names, I swear. Rayet Saris?
His eyes stop. He stops short, his eyes bulging. He scans back and forth over and over. Red Sarens.
I'll be the effigy. He fought for Rayet Saris. Why'd he fight for Rayet Saris?
He stares at the page, his jaw agape before suddenly looking up at you. I'm sure he had a good reason. I am too. He stares at the page, his complexion drained. I am too.
We gotta go there. That battlefield. Clea, the one I said. I don't know how else I'm gonna make sense of all this. I gotta see what he saw.
A strange look comes over Ida.
Who knows, maybe his spirit will even be there and you can have one of your weird talks with him. I mean, worth trying, right?
I'd say so.
I appreciate that. I wish I could say you won't regret it, but you certainly might.
Seek out Saints' War battlefield with Ida. Where do you want me to go? I have no idea where you want me to go. Clearban Relag. He wants to see the battlefield. Hey, we only lost 4 copper pieces to bandits, but earned 772. See, investing in all that money in guards and whatnot really paid out. How's this coming along? 6 hours to finish. And then we'll have a Bailey. Right, what am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, I don't know where that leads. That takes time. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Long hunt. No idea where those cliffs are. Don't want to do that quest. Just straight up, I don't want to. I just don't. So I'm not going to. Child of the 5 Sons. That's Twin Elms. I don't really want to go there. Find a cave. Don't know. Said Newer. Travel to Cragholt and investigate the conflict. Probably do that at some point. Travel to Dryford Village. Okay, I think we're just about done in the town for now. Let's head back to Seidenua. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke around Seidenua, see what's going on, grab stuff, and call the stream there. It's probably going to be a little bit earlier. There'll be some maintenance to do when I get there. I'm really tired. My brain is not firing. At all. And the Bailey construction is complete.
Looks a little healthier than before.
Say that just about every time. Hireling payday. Total wages 400 gold pieces. So what was a Bailey? What is a Bailey? The Bailey houses various necessities for keeping the stronghold self-sufficient. Buildings, this upgrades allows you to upgrade the grounds further. Oh! Peasants! I would pay, I wouldn't pay, so they set my crops on fire. When my boy tried to stop him, they knocked him over the head. He's alive, but he can't think straight no more. Your boy got lucky. My guards, both good men, got put to the sword after they'd surrendered. I paid those thugs whatever they wanted, but they still took everything I had. There she is. The woman points at you, and all the eyes in the crowd turn their hostile gazes upon you. Great. The Bailey is basically the walled outer keep. Okay. What's going on here? We want justice. You've been terrorizing us and we won't stand for it any longer. Go on. You sent your men to my farm to collect a crop tax, saying we was overdue. For me, it was a road toll. I've been travelling up and down this way for years, and this is the first I've heard of such a thing. The other people in the crowd chime in with similar stories. If this happens again, it's not on my orders. You heard that directly from me. Say we believe you. But what about what we've lost? What about my crops? And my goods? The families of my guards? I don't care about your idiot son or your trade goods. Get out of my keep now. See, I'm torn between giving them money. You usually have an outer keep, then another wall, and then the inner keep where your castle boss lives. Okay. I'm torn between I'll make these men face justice, you can count on it, or giving them money to share amongst themselves. I have a feeling that if I give them money to share amongst themselves, they are just going to end up squabbling over it. I'll make these men face justice. You can count on it. We appreciate that, but can you offer us any compensation? Just a little to help us get by, of course. He clears his throat and looks at you expectantly. Share this amongst yourselves. Most generous of you, milady. The villager nods and smiles at you, uttering thanks as they distribute the coins between them. Ah, angry mobs, the inevitable thorn in every ruler's side here. They're good people, can't blame them for reacting that way. Your subjects are fortunate to have a leader that understands the compassionate side of nobility, but for now, they will have to wait. I have news about Lord Gathbin. Let us discuss in the Great Hall, away from curious ears. So I'm guessing that's not the Bailey. Right, what is it supposed to be? You usually have an outer keep, then another wall, and the inner keep, where... So, this is my castle. This is where the boss be. So I'm guessing it wouldn't be on this map? Or the Bailey is just going to be another structure outside of the wall that I'm not familiar with? Or maybe whoever designed this castle looked up a bunch of terms for keeps and castles and crammed them in there without really thinking too much through. At a guess. What to build next anyway? Right. Towers is one security. I'm all in favor of increasing security. Sounds like a good idea. The Hedge Maze increases by 3, and I think that's the best one that I've got. The Hedge Maze provides further security by creating an obstacle for invaders coming from behind the keep. Repairing the maze will grant a bonus to stealth upon resting in Bright Hollow. Looks like it'd be following more of a Norman style where the Bailey is the wall itself. So the wall isn't just a wall, it's a... It's an enclosed structure that functions as a Bailey that's also part of the wall. I'd guess. And what is it you want? My name is Nier. Begging your pardon and all, milady, but I was hoping we could talk. Very well, let's hear it. You call your allies together and motion for the petitioner to step forward. So, might be I got myself nicked here and there for a few unsavory deeds. My name's on posters all over Defiance Bay now. Makes it harder to walk about freely, if you get me. My thinking is, it is time for me to seek out new horizons. Deadfire Archipelago seems nice. And then I'm out of everyone's hair. Only I could use some help getting there. No, I'm not asking you to do it for free, mind. I picked up a couple of things here from a fellow I know. Not much good to me if I'm caught. You should turn yourself in. You can't be serious. They'll hang me. I'll see they give you a lenient sentence. It's better than living as an outlaw. Yeah, alright. It's been hard trying to find a burrow to hide in. Might be just best to start cleaner. Thanks for giving me your honest chance at it, I guess. I'm not harboring a fugitive. Lady Kashra, I've received word that Lord Gathbin is amassing an army of mercenaries near Yenwood Field. It appears a peaceful claim to Seidenure is no longer possible. The Earl has sent me to aid you in forming your own force to counter this threat. I'm here as an advisory role only, of course. The Earl won't officially take sides in this dispute. How much time do I have? Enough. It is rumoured Lord Gathbin has suffered a series of unfortunate and completely unforeseeable setbacks before his army is complete. He grins and winks. Still, I'd not tarry too long. If there's anything else you wish to know, please ask. So let's talk about my army. Marshal nods. Where am I getting my troops? I sent out a call for volunteers from the lands around Seidenure. Hopefully people will realize that being under your rule is preferable to that of Lord Gathbin's. Any hirelings stationed at Seidenure will also accompany you into battle, so I suggest you acquire as many of them as possible. I received a missive from the Knights of the Crucible. They've heard about your situation and will send a squad of their finest knights when the time for battle comes. What's the status of my regular troops? The Marshal shakes his head. Too green and too few. If you go up against Lord Gathbin now, losses will be heavy. However, victory is possible. We need to recruit veterans? I know a company or two of veterans that will be willing to join us for a bit of coin. I'd say 10,000 copper pieces should cover the expenses. This should do. His eyes widen. It will be done. What special allies do I have available? The Knights of the Crucible reinforce your inventory. That is all for now. Why won't the Earl officially legitimize my claim? It is a delicate situation. Legally, Lord Gathbin's claim is just, and he knows it. Stripping the land and title from a noble family is quite dangerous, perhaps more so than killing the man outright. With Lord Gathbin dead, the Earl only need worry about blood vengeance from family members that actually cared for Lord Gathbin. Those, if the court gossip is to be believed, are few and far between. Losing a family claim to land and title, though, such disputes incite hatred from the entire clan and their political allies, not to mention the unease it causes amongst other nobles. Wars have started for less. Now, if Gathbin is to be denied, it will be you who must prove your legitimacy to the Earl and all others who would dispute your claims. This is what it means to be a noble in the Direwood. I have a fortress with strong walls. Why not let Gathbin's army come to me? Lord Gathbin isn't a fool to risk tearing down Seidenure just to kill you. If you shield yourself behind these walls, he'll have free rein to torment your subjects in the countryside. Earl Baidmar will see your inaction against Lord Athman as a sign that you're unwilling to perform your duties as Lord of Seidenure. Losing his support will have dire consequences. Taking the fight to Lord Gathbin is your only option. Let's talk about my army. What's the status of my regular troops? It is good as it can be given the circumstance. Your willingness to spend coin will attract some veteran warriors as well. They'll be useful for their experience and will help with morale when the situation becomes dire. That is all for now. Farewell. Do I have an army button? Morning Circle. A secret society of animancers have been traveling around the Eastern Reach, promising to restore life to lost loved ones. They perform their rituals at clandestine meetings in various cities, never staying in one place for more than a few days. Though some spark of life appears to be restored to the bodies they've revived, authorities suspect that the group is behind abductions, murders, vivisections, and other ghastly practices that appear to be required by their methods. To make matters worse, those restored to life rapidly decompose or go mad within days of their resurrection. Concerned animancers and various civic authorities are seeking help in tracking down those responsible. Bye, Canna. For anything that allows me to increase the number of troops that I have. Don't see anything. Yep. Hirelings seems a bit dismissive. What do they refer to them as? Is it hirelings? Yeah, hirelings. I mean, what else would you call them? Employees? Seems a bit weird when you're a lord. It seems your fame is spreading, my lady. I have heard travellers speaking of your accomplishments in Defiance Bay. If you'll forgive me for saying so, it is a relief to find the keep in the command of someone who more connected to the world. It's so easy to let things fall by the wayside. What is the state of the keep? And people are starting to notice your hard work. I dare say we've had more visitors shortly. I'm glad you decided to stay on, my lady. It's been difficult watching this place tumble into decay time and again. To see it restored is... I can imagine the great crowds, the petitioners, music perhaps in the evenings. Oh, I've gotten away, haven't I? Here's a report. I just bring up the screen. Anyway, right, I am calling the stream a little bit early, but I am so tired. I'm probably just going to crawl into the bath and then into bed. And call it done. Thank you for joining me as always as we continue our playthrough of Pillars of Eternity. I believe this is end of session 13. Done. Sounds like a good evening. Thanks for the screen. Reading loads is tough. Get some sleep. I will get some sleep. And yeah, it's been a long week and we're only on Tuesday so far. I'll be fine. Hopefully. So yeah, this has been session 13 of Pillars of Eternity. I am and will continue to be Karen Rushmore. Thank you for joining me this evening. I will be back probably on Thursday. I've skipped a couple of Thursdays recently. Part of me is debating whether to knock Thursdays on the head and leave it or continue playing it. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do yet, but it's crossed my mind that I've skipped a couple of Thursdays. Could possibly do with a day of the week where I'm not doing something. Who knows? I'll figure it out. But all being well, I will be back on Thursday with more Pillars of Eternity. On Friday, I will probably be back with more Prey with J Station 64 and mycat_UK, joining me in the peanut gallery as always. And then next Monday, I will be over on Manapot Studios with JStation 64, Krifu, Banal, Retro Ted, JStation, and Crit Commissions. Where I will be doing Starfinder The Adventure Path, Fly Free or Die on a stream called All the Glitters Explodes. Links are in the chat. Me, JStation64, Retro Ted, and Krifu Bunal have a Discord where you can join us, hang around, chat about various geeky things, as well as promote your own streams and discuss what you're up to in general with things. It's a good place. It's a nice community. Hopefully going to keep it growing. And it'll be a active place to be hanging out. Raiding, that's what we do. When we end the stream, we raid somebody who is online. Is there anybody online that I know? It's Tuesdays. It's a little bit hit and miss on Tuesdays. Yeah, there's nobody online that I'm... No? There's a couple of people that I've followed. But I follow a lot of people. Yeah, okay. We are just going to be calling the stream here. Rather than going off to raid. There's nobody streaming that I'm aware of. So I wish you all a good evening or good time zone wherever you happen to be at. And I hope to see you all next time. And until then, daddy bye. Clicked all the wrong fucking buttons. My brain is dead. Daddy bye.